How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting, and welcome back to the Civilized Run through Knights of the Republic to the Sith Lords. So, now we're here. We got our ship back. We met Atris, which was interesting, but we are now free to start making choices and to follow along with our plot lines. And we even confirmed through like side story that that the characters don't know, but that the Republic even is being a bit standoffish. They're gonna say like, all right, we're gonna just step back. We're gonna watch and we're gonna see what the Jedi does. Well, the exile. The only true Jedi still in operation is technically Atris, or at least that's what she claims. But now we're going to go off and about and gallivant across the galaxy. So, where do we go first? Well, I have an idea of where we're going to go next, because the next thing I want to do is primarily kind of focus on getting the next characters. I want to make sure our team's filled out fairly quickly so that we have time to do bonding and like events where we travel with them to be able to kind of get influence points. So the order we do things is a little important, and we're going to be jumping right into that as soon as we can, but because last time at the end of the part we can't talk to everybody, so we're all good about everyone on the ship so far, and now we're going to go ahead and just to get on with our adventure. All right, so here's the Ebon Hawk. Paragus, obviously we can't go back there. I think you even tried to travel there, just like inaccessible, facility destroyed. So we have three places. We have Citadel Station, where we were. We have Onderon, which is very, very cool, but we're not going there yet. Nar Shaddaa, very good a choice. Lots of content to be had there, and probably one of my favorite planets in just like flavor and character development goes, but not quite yet. Korriban, the insane choice, because it's like that place. It's awesome and it sucks all at once. Ancient home world of the Sith, very cool. But there's one place I think it would be more fitting to go, especially with Joan of Arclight, when the fact that she was a Jedi, she's been exiled for a long time, like gallivanting across the edges of the galaxy, pretty much shunning everybody, and came back, learned there was a war she didn't even know about, and that Dantooine, where she likely was partially, if not completely trained, has been destroyed. I think it'd be a place of sentimental value, a place that she would want to go and see for herself. And it's also a place where, narratively wise, it's a really good chance for us to go. So let's hop aboard and get started on the path to Dantooine. If I do things right, I kind of want to. I think I'm going to be able to get this entire planet done in this episode. I mean, I could break it up if it takes too long, but because I know this game really well, I think I can do it fairly quickly, especially when I cut out a lot of the traveling and combat. But there's a lot of good stuff to find here, and it'll be nice and fresher because it's one of the few places that we get to visit that is really similar to how it was when we visited in the first game with Killy the Bit. So we're going to jump on there and we're going to go see how it is. Nope, we're going to be taking Atton and Bao-Dur, specifically Bao-Dur. This is the key. One of the secrets to the game and being able to do something really cool that I plan to showcase requires you to take Bao-Dur onto Dantooine with you. There's a very specific side quest that you need him to be a part of, but he also has some other unique influential conversations to have and share with you as you go down the path with him. So it's really important you take Bao-Dur with you.
Another visitor? You must be here to join in the plunder of the old Jedi Enclave. You have to see Administrator Adari first.
I like how look how I'm dressed. And she's like, oh, you're here by you to plunder the Jedi relics. I'm like, hello, but it's okay. What are the people doing in the Enclave?
Salvagers are stripping it of anything valuable. Mostly they're collecting trash the Jedi left behind. The Enclave was bombed during the war, so there's not much left. But since you're a salvager, I expect you already know all that.
I'm not a salvager.
Then who are you? The only recent visitors we've had on Dantooine have been salvagers and a slew of mercenaries.
I'm just visiting. I lived here once.
You used to live here?
I haven't been back since I left for the Mandalorian Wars.
Really? You seem pretty well armed for a farmer, but a lot of us joined the military during the Jedi Civil War. If this is your first time back, a lot has changed. You may want to go into Kunda and ask around about your family. There was a lot of movement when the Sith invaded. Hopefully everybody you knew is safe.
Yeah. Where is Kunda?
Kunda is the big building just outside the landing port. It used to be the estate of a man named Matali, but he and his family disappeared around the time of the bombardment.
Oh.
The administrator rebuilt it, and now this is our center of government.
Interesting. So, like, if you don't play the games back to back, you might not recognize the Matali name. But remember, that was a kind of like Romeo Juliet side quest that happened on Dantooine as Confronting the Bit. The Matali were definitely the more like militaristic ones. They're the ones that hide all the droids. So the fact that they mysteriously disappeared right before the attack of on the planet implies they might have actually been selling information to the Sith, which sucks, but makes sense. All right, who is Administrator Adari?
She was the agricultural administrator of Dantooine. After the Sith attack, she kept us together. Without her, the only thing you'd see around here are mercenaries.
Why do I need permission to enter the Enclave?
Have you ever sliced a Jedi security door? The old ruins are secure from salvagers unless they get permission from Adare.
I'll be going now.
Just head into the building and you'll find your way to the administrator. I'll be over by the entrance if you need anything else.
Sweet.
Do you actually believe a Jedi would return here? After all they've done to us?
Uh-oh.
They wouldn't dare.
They certainly would. You remember how they were. Always so superior, so arrogant, and never lending a hand when we really needed them.
I still don't believe it.
You should. My cousin's friend, he used to tend the gardens around the Enclave. He swears he saw a Jedi in Kunda. Could be hiding anywhere.
Well, I hope it's true. I hear there's a bounty on them, and we could certainly use the money.
Uh-oh.
Unless somebody beats you to it.
Hello, ladies.
The salvagers keep coming here and bothering the militia. That Garavik...
Welcome to Kunda. You're a salvager, right? You'll need to see Administrator Adare to get access to the ruins. If you need directions to anything else, just ask.
Do you know who this Garavik is?
Garavik is a salvager, the worst one of the lot. Try to stay clear of him. He's a dangerous one to cross.
Where is the Administrator?
Her office is directly behind this room. You really can't miss it. She can see you now if you like.
Why does everyone think I'm a salvager?
You're not. The only heavily armed people that visit us are either salvagers or mercenaries. And you don't look quite gritty enough to be a mercenary.
Alright, well, I guess I'll just go then.
Your luck is not of the hapless settler. You are the newcomer that lands in a battered ship, yes. No friendly greetings are here for you.
Oh, cool. My ship isn't battered.
You act like I have insulted your man. Your ship I haven't seen. But if it takes after you, it can't be in perfect condition.
Well, isn't he a charmer?
I'm done being inconvenienced by you.
Okay, yeah, he's fun. He's a good dude, isn't he?
A visitor. Please, come in. Welcome to Kunda. I am Administrator Turina Adare. You're the owner of the, ship that just landed?
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Joan.
Depending on your business here, the pleasure may be mutual, but you didn't answer my question. Is that ship yours?
I came in that ship, yes.
And unless I'm much mistaken, that's the Ebon Hawk. That vessel has been on Dantooine before, during the war. That was a Jedi vessel.
Don't tell me you want to collect the bounty.
Of course not. I'm trying to stabilize an entire planet. An exchange bounty, no matter how abundant, is little use in that endeavor. But if a Jedi were here, that would best be kept secret. Right or wrong, our settlers blame the Jedi and their hidden enclave for their suffering. I remember the old Jedi Masters and the considerable help they lent to Dantooine. I still maintain discreet connections with Jedi. I suppose your arrival here is no coincidence.
I'm looking for a Jedi. Could you tell me who you're talking about?
My friend. Let's just call him Vrook. We've known each
Real
other for many years,
subtle,
and our continued
mysterious
friendship
name.
could create many problems in the current political climate. He came to Dantooine not too long ago. He was looking into something quite important. He's gone missing recently. Did he send for you in case something went wrong?
No, I'm not gonna lie. Master Vrook was here. What happened to him?
Vrook and I had a mutually beneficial arrangement for several weeks. He went to the Jedi Enclave Sublevel recently and hasn't returned. I know the sublevel is dangerous. I'm starting to fear the worst. Would you be willing to go to the ruins of the Enclave to look for him?
Yeah, I'll make it my first priority.
We are fortunate that you've come. Don't expect it to be easy, though. Things rarely are with Jedi. I will have one of the militia transmit permissions to the Enclave security door. Go expecting danger, for you will most certainly find it there. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
I think that's everything. Is there any work I can do here?
There are plenty of opportunities to assist people on Dantooine. Too many, I'm afraid. I would go to the militia headquarters and make your intentions known there. Besides that, just listen and ask around.
Alright, let's see, I think that's all pretty good. There's more you can learn, but it's all very superficial and stuff we pretty much already know. Just how, like, the Jedi, like, didn't seem to help as much as they should when they were last here, and then the city got bombed by Sith because they were there. It makes sense people would be very upset.
What brings you to Kunda? Do you have any troubles to report? I'm here to help. I just hope you aren't here about Garevik.
Garevik. I've had no problems the militia needs to worry about.
You haven't? Well, that's something. I'm the second in command over here, and we keep getting incidents. Our staff is stretched thin. Too thin. If you do have trouble, I'm not the one to talk to. You need to talk to Zeron. He takes a hands-on role as the militia captain.
Isn't being hands-on a good thing?
This is sensitive. It's not really a secret, though. A lot of people are upset with Zeron. He's a hard man and doesn't answer to anybody. Except, I suppose, the administrator. The thing is, he expects everyone to follow all the laws. That's not normally a bad thing, but the mercenaries are used to having a bit more freedom. So it's like Zeron keeps prodding a rancor with a stun stick. To a rancor, it's just a minor nuisance. But if you keep at it, he's going to fight back. The mercenaries aren't unreasonable. They're mostly just war veterans looking for work. But Zeron just keeps poking them. So he has to get involved to make sure that the militia does what he wants. Otherwise, we'd probably give the mercenaries some room.
Interesting. So it's like one of those interesting situations where it's like, should you enforce the law in inconveniencing those around even if they're struggling, or do you let some things slide in order to keep the peace? It's a really tough question that there's really no good answer to. With some people, if you give them a little room, they'll take a lot more.
Dantooine has had mercenaries on it for years. I've talked with some, and they're not unreasonable. There's got to be some sort of compromise we can both live with.
I heard they've been making a lot of mischief lately, maybe even murder.
We haven't been able to prove the mercenaries have done anything terribly wrong. And I believe them. I don't think they're involved. The Kathhounds and Kinrath are everywhere. It's just dangerous. I think we should be working on getting along. It's hard to follow orders that have you make things worse.
That attitude is dangerous. Yeah, when you're outnumbered on a hostile world, you've got to stay a team.
That's a good way of looking at it. I may not agree with the captain, but I guess I should make everyone fall in line. I still worry that he may provoke the mercenaries into something more dangerous. But I suppose he may know something I don't. Thanks.
Alright, I'll be going.
Alright, stay out of trouble now.
Alright, here he is. Zeron.
I'm the militia captain here. Are you here because you're in trouble or looking for it?
What a voice he's got. Neither one.
I see. Well, what's your reason for coming to militia headquarters?
I wanted to see if anyone needed a hand.
Rare thing, a visitor wanting to help out. Looks to me like you're here to explore the Jedi ruins. But we have a thing or two that need doing. You seriously want to help, just ask about it. Or any other questions you might have. You want something?
That line, we're gonna hear that one a few times. What's Garevik's connection to the militia?
Some of the salvagers went deep into the ruins and found a lot of Jedi relics. It's the most valuable haul the salvagers ever got. But all the salvagers that went down there are dead. So it seems every day or so some salvager comes claiming they're owed by such and such, or that they're related. The whole thing makes me sick. Garevik says he won the whole claim in a Pazak game with the last survivor, right before he killed him. But that was a fair fight. There were witnesses. But nobody remembers Garevik ever playing Pazak. I
Yeah.
just hope someone takes this blasted claim off my hands. I'm tired of those lowlives pestering me. We've got real work to do. You want something?
So I gotta figure that out. What sort of work do you have?
I've seen a lot of visitors come through Kunda. You're the first one in a while that looks the capable sort. We have a small problem with Kinrath. Maybe you've already seen some of them. They're coming from a cave in the Kunda Plains. I'd take care of it myself, but there aren't many people in the militia. We'd lose too many men. There's a reward if you do it.
I see. What do you know about the cave?
We used some explosives to seal the cave a couple years back. Just made them angrier. They burrowed another entrance even closer to us. I know there are crystals in there, too. Some of the salvagers once thought about going in there to get some extra credits. Too many Kinrath, though. Cave is on the southeast side of the plains. Shouldn't be hard to find.
That is an important stop for us in the near future. I'll see what I can do.
That's all I can ask. You want something?
See, I think,
You really should talk to Barun about general questions.
okay, how do you feel about the mercenaries?
I don't have anything to say about that.
How's the militia doing?
There aren't more than a dozen of us, and there's too many problems. People keep hoping that the Republic sends help. But we gotta help ourselves.
What do you know about the administrator?
She's smart. She gets things done. The whole place would fall apart without her. Dantooine isn't the center of much of anything. Our most talented people sometimes leave. Hard for someone to stay a farmer when they have the itch to do something greater. So we're lucky the administrator never went elsewhere. I bet she'd make a decent senator even.
So that's a good point. It's like, actually, isn't that the crisis that's happening in a lot of places around the world, but Japan specifically? Like the small towns throughout the countryside are like slowly being abandoned as the young people like grow up, go to school, get an education, go work in like Tokyo or Hokkaido or like, you know, any of the other like major cities, and like slowly like these small towns are just dying out. It's kind of sad, but also kind of like, you know, times change, things happen. It'd be nice if you could just also like have a supportive like backcountry. But anyway, I think that's everything we need from him. All right. So, Kinrath Cave, very much a big thing. It's going to be tough, especially the big monster that we have to face in there. It's going to be real challenging to deal with, but worth it. So I think that's probably where we're going to head next on our way towards the Enclave.
Are you waiting for the administrator too? You won't have to wait too long. But if you want results, now that you may never get here.
Oh. What are you waiting for?
I'm here to get another pat in the back from the administrator and hear how unfortunate my situation is. That my problem is important, and they'll get around to it.
I'm sick of all their excuses and empty words. I need justice now.
I fought in the war, and I know how to use my blaster rifle. If the administrator or Zeron doesn't do something, then I will.
What exactly is your problem?
Salvagers are the problem. They strip bare the ruins that belong to the people of Dantooine. Then they sell what they find back to us at inflated prices.
I'm not a violent man. I've had my share of it in the war. I sincerely hoped I could just hang my blaster rifle on the wall as a souvenir for my grandchildren.
But I can't farm without my equipment.
Those salvagers stole your equipment?
Well, yes and no. I brought my moisture vaporator to Kunda to be serviced. On the way back to my farm, I took a shortcut next to the Enclave ruins. Damn Lagrix came out of nowhere. I had to run before they made a meal of me. When I returned to retrieve my equipment, the salvagers had already stripped it bare.
You sure it's a salvager?
My farm is the closest to the Enclave ruins. It has to be someone nearby, and if the mercenaries wanted it, they'd just take it in broad daylight. The closest place besides that is the salvager camp, so it has to be them. You ever met one of them? Thievery wouldn't be too far a stretch for any of them. The other day I had to take a shot at one of them. Soon someone is going to get killed, and Dantooine has enough trouble without that.
Why are they what did they steal?
A lot of farming equipment. It's not even valuable, just important for the moisture vaporators and hydroprocessors. The thief must be desperate for credits.
I see. Is there anything I can do to help?
I suppose you could. Actually, you almost look like a salvager.
If you could go to this salvager camp and convince the salvager Joran to return my modulator, I would be very grateful.
I'm not rich, but I have some souvenirs from the war I could give you.
Let's see. I'll see what I can do.
That's great. I'm certainly not getting any help around here. If If you need to know anything more, just ask me.
All right, there we go. I think that's all the side quests I can get for the minute. So now let's go and kill some monsters. Okay, so now if things go right, there's an event up here, and this is what we really need Bao-Dur here for. So I'm gonna save because I don't want to mess this up. But this is like one of the biggest secrets that was not even in the official like IGN guide that they published, like the book you could buy.
What? You shouldn't sneak up on an old fella like that. You shouldn't be out of here anyway. This is Kinrath territory.
I wish we could see. What are you doing out here?
A couple weeks back, there was an accident here. One of the Western Fringe farmers was coming to Kunda on his swoop with a load of atmospheric sensors. We found him dead and his swoop bike all banged up. I've come back a couple of times to try to figure out if that's what really happened.
Do you suspect foul play?
I do. The Kinrath are dangerous. But as long as you stay on your swoop bike, there's no way they should catch you. I've carefully searched this area and haven't found anything. So maybe our man just got sloppy. We really need those atmospheric sensors.
But Dantooine is temperate. There is no need for atmospheric sensors except for seasonal data collection.
Huh? It's just important we get it back. They're expensive pieces of equipment, and we can't afford to replace them. Regardless, I don't suppose you'd be willing to keep an eye out for something.
Why do you really want those sensors?
I just really need them. It's important. Please come to me if you find any of the atmospheric sensors. I'll pay you 1,000 credits for each one you find, whether they're broken or not.
Any idea where they could be?
No idea whatsoever. I figure it's a real long shot you'd ever spot one. But I also figure it wouldn't hurt to ask.
I'll see what I can do. Now, Bao-Dur being there is key. If you don't have Bao-Dur, literally all that happens is you get the quest, you go, you find them, you sell them, you're done. But if you have Bao-Dur, something different happens. And then in this corner, this is where we found the body of like one of the Mattel sons or whatever, who was they thought he thought was captured by the other family. But instead, we're gonna go into here, a Kinrath cave. Now we need to go kill the queen here. And yeah, it's going to be interesting, but there's good stuff to find in here. Very useful stuff, in fact, but it's going to be dicey. I would not be surprised if we practically die. Oh, I forgot about this. The mercenary ahead doesn't notice you. He appears to be walking past the Kinrath unharmed. I hear rubble. Atmospheric sensors.
I don't know about that.
What's the problem? We found the sensors. Now we can get them to set he and get paid. No, don't know about what? The sensor?
They are vitally important pieces of equipment on tectonically or environmentally unstable regions. But do you really need atmospheric sensors on Dantooine?
Can you examine one of the sensors?
I'll have this open in no time. Child's play.
Inside the atmospheric sensor is a hidden surveillance device. No wonder why Side he wants it so badly. Good work, Bao-Dur. The influence gained Bao-Dur. You don't know it, but that's the most important thing that we've got to cover. And this is a secret I've had this entire game that I found on my own and that was never in any guide. And it's literally a barrier to letting something really cool happen in Bao-Dur's character development. If you don't get this, you literally never see the end of his personal character arc. Never. Because he has so infrequent influence points. He has I think maybe 3 or 4, and you have to get all of them or else you don't get to the end of his chain. But they never talked about this. Literally, you can only get that if he's here. So yeah, big moment. I think there's another one we get in subsequent, following up with this, because we're going to confront them about the spy gear. But for now, we got to go kill some Kinrath and get some crystals. Hello. You shouldn't be sneaking around like that. These tunnels are too dark and full of tell from man from beast. My apologies. No worries. What are you doing here? There's a dangerous Kinrath about. The Kinrath don't attack you. Why is that? That's a trade secret I'm afraid I can't share. I'm an explorer like you. You can share your secret with me. Well, I guess I could tell a fellow explorer. I recently discovered that these Kinrath discern friend from foe by primarily on scent. The common Kinrath have an odor-emitting gland near the rectum that keeps them from attacking each other. When carefully extracted with surgical tools, the gland still functions. Gross. Carrying the Kinrath scent gland allows me and other mercenaries to avoid notice by the local Kinrath population. Do you have an extra scent gland I could use? Sadly, I only have one gland by person. You'll need to keep the Kinrath from attacking me. I could extract another for you, but the process takes several hours. So I could try and steal it, but it's okay. I'll let him keep it. Plus, I actually want the experience of getting it, because I have a mission to kill the Kinrath, and specifically, like, what's at the heart of the upcoming crystal chamber we're going to find. But it's still, like, you can totally, like, you could be like, I just want to hold it, he'll hand it to you, and then you'd be like, now it's mine. And he's like, no! And he runs off, he's like all sad. Here we go. Big important room.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you. Force-sensitive locations such as this absorb and reflect force energy. The crystals are the catalyst here. I sense that Revan once passed through here, leaving a strong impression behind in the crystals. Perhaps future Jedi who visit this cave will feel our presence, as if seeing our footprints preserved in the soil.
So yeah, we came here before. We came at a different angle, obviously, but this is where we ran into Kinrath and that run through. And there were a few crystals there. Not a whole lot, but they were in the eggs and stuff too. You said crystals absorb the Force. I feel strange, but not weaker.
The crystals here do not drain Force energy from Jedi. They collect the excess energy that radiates from those attuned to the Force.
Tell me more about these crystals.
The crystals here are infused with the Force. Some could be harvested and used for lightsabers.
Alright. And like how it's like I don't want to leave any evidence, or you can ask again like what I just asked her. Okay. But it triggers a boss fight. This is gonna be pretty these are hatchlings. There's something bigger coming though. It's the matriarch, the queen. There we go. Now we finished the mission. Like the actual quest is done by killing her. And now we can go through to some of these crystal formations and get crystals. Rusan. Now if we're lucky, we can get some interesting color crystals. Like I want to say that one for last. Now it's glowing, and this was a large. The violet. Perfect. We have a purple crystal. That fits so well with our character too. So I bought the other color one just in case, but it's good now. Like I think it's cool that we're gonna be able to use the organic one we found. But this is the big one. Joan of Arclight crystal.
The crystal responds to you. This is very rare indeed.
What does it mean?
The crystal's bond with you is such that the stronger you become in the Force, the more powerful your crystal will grow. This crystal will make an excellent focus for a lightsaber.
Is the bond dangerous?
Quite the contrary. Picture yourself as a sieve, and the Force as water pouring into you. This crystal draws from the excess water that escapes the sieve.
Let's see. Does the crystal feed off the light side of the Force?
The crystal is in tune with you. It will use whatever water that pours through you, be it dark or light.
I see. Okay. Now that's the thing. So that goes into your lightsaber, and it's one of the coolest things in this game because it's a scaling enhancement, which means it essentially turns your lightsaber into a scaling weapon. It's really, really well clever. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that because it's so narratively tied to this location, if you come to Dantooine last, you might be struggling to keep your lightsaber up par. Because it really is kind of designed to be like the way your lightsaber stays strong, and it only works on the lightsaber you have. Like I think if you install it, only you it either just restricts the benefits or it literally makes it impossible to equip unless it's you. But really good stuff. Really, like I love the narrative side of it all, and it's really fun. You get some other narrative things that happen on Korriban as well, but those are more events, not so much tied to like your character. And then any loot table is typically leveled to your current level. So like because I came here to Dantooine first, the loot on Dantooine is always going to be at this level of like appropriate for this level of gameplay. So like that's kind of the downside to like once you visit a planet. If you coming here first narratively makes sense and it gives you lots of good loot. And I like the flavor of it being the first stop, but technically if you wanted to min-max, especially if you're a martial character, you probably should come here last because you get so many good upgrades for your lightsaber and for force stuff, and it just maximizes it. Okay, so this is the Enclave courtyard. I think you also get to the Enclave. There's a path up to the north that we're probably going to also explore, but we're going to go here first after I level up my character, and then we'll jump in there, and it'll be mercenary chatting, and then going to the Enclave itself. Yeah, look, there it is. There it is. These guys are just chilling here, and then there's this mound right there. It's been blown to bits, obviously, but like that's where it was. One of the greatest secrets of the galaxy, just sitting right there, or what's left of it anyway. All right, Dopak.
You've wandered into the wrong camp. You got the look of a warrior, and we got all the blasters we need.
Look at that.
Looking
Look
for
at
work
that
too,
goatee.
just take a trip spaceward.
Or
we don't need any more competition.
What's that called, actually?
Got it?
Not looking for work.
Then maybe we can get along just fine.
I heard you've been making trouble for the settlers.
What if we do? They're practically begging to be pushed around. You've seen them, right? They're weak.
Their skills don't lie in welfare. This isn't a failing.
You sound like a flaming Jedi. I didn't just mean their weapons. I meant their character. They're very quick to blame everyone but themselves for their problems. So the galaxy has dealt them a bad hand. They should ante up and get back in the game. The administrator is different.
What do you think about Dantooine?
It's just another spaceport to me. We've been here too long for my tastes. And the settlers...
What about the settlers?
It galls me to think we fought wars to protect Gizka like them. They don't do anything to help themselves, and they don't know how to take responsibility. They're on their own, and either they should start working and stop whining, or else they're in for a tough ride.
I feel like I hear the lines like this in politics too. What do you think about the administrator?
She's got spirit, but she seems to focus most of her effort on trying to get us off this planet. Terena has to learn that we aren't moving.
I see. Why choose Dantooine as your base?
We have to live somewhere. Something those settlers don't seem to understand. That flaming administrator and her cath-hound Zeron can't keep their noses out of our business. There's a natural order to things that they just don't seem to get. They'll learn.
What are you planning to do?
Just make sure these settlers know their place. The Republic isn't going to send a single trainee to help this planet.
What about the settlers?
It galls me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We have to... I hear
you've been making trouble for the settlers.
What if we do? They're practically begging. Most of us are veterans of the Jedi Civil War. Some even fought in the Mandalorian Wars. A lot of soldiers have been looking for a place in the galaxy. The really skilled usually wind up here.
Who's your leader?
A sentient by the name of Azkul. He was an elite trooper for Malak during the Jedi Civil War. He knows how to wage war.
I like how he calls him a sentient, like a guy or a man. It's like a sentient. That makes sense. It's almost like a political correct term for a galaxy, but like it's not so much political correct, but like when you're surrounded by beings, like referring to all of them as human would be kind of silly. So like the nomenclature for sentient would make a lot of sense. Why haven't you been able to line up a job?
We had a contract with the Republic, doing some work in the Outer Rim, but they scaled back, and we were some of the casualties. Now the Republic isn't hiring anymore. I hear they have no credits.
So what do you do between your jobs?
We find ways to divert ourselves. A lot of us find odd jobs. There are many more mercs around than what you see on Dantooine. We're spread out.
Let's see. Something else?
I have time to kill.
Okay, that's good. Can I talk to Bao-Dur about my lightsaber right now?
I didn't want to talk about the war, but can I ask you something?
Oh, sure, Bao-Dur. What is it?
Why did you decide to fight?
Let's see. The Jedi served no one with inaction.
The war went poorly before Revan and the Jedi lent aid to the Republic. Many of us believed the Jedi to be cowards who were afraid to face the Mandalorian threat. I remembered when word of the Mandalorian attacks arrived on Iridonia. My people had colonies across the Outer Rim. Many of them were among the first systems to fall.
Unlike many Jedi, I could not stand by and watch.
I did not join because I wanted to protect, though. I hated them. I wanted to destroy them. To give them the mercy they gave the people they conquered. I remember the thrill I felt when we fought them in battle. Victories were rare, but we celebrated every Mandalorian's death. Do you know how it felt?
Yes, I felt it too. The rush of death as the Mandalorians were cut down.
It's always on my mind now. That loss of control blinded me. Turned me into a weapon. I just needed to get that off my chest. Was there something you wanted me for?
Do I have all the lightsaber parts I'll need?
Let me see what you have. No, you're still missing an emitter matrix and lens. Something else I can...
Okay. Emitter matrix and lens.
Do you feel it? The wound on this world. It is centered here.
Oh, I see something!
If we succeed in gathering the Jedi, they will come to this place. And if those Jedi are slain, then all that remains of the Order shall be drawn here as well.
When will this happen?
We will know when the time comes. And I hope our enemies do not.
But I saw something up there. Wasn't looking so great. Hello, boys. I had a feeling we'd see you.
You have caused us to expenditure a great deal of effort to find you, Jedi. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Threat. Come with us without resistance, Jedi, or you will come with us in pain.
Do you even know when to quit? But, unfortunately for you, I have my new powers!
Failing master.
I am very ready for you guys now. Got chassis and upgrade. Very good. Very good indeed. This place is fun. So I have a typical way I do this entire enclave. There's eventually it's a loop with like rooms that go inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the loop because I'm going to just clear out all the bugs because they're just annoying and there's tons of them. And then once I'm done, I'm going to explore everything else. So I'm going to be cutting out a lot of this, but we'll be jumping to it, you know, for your sake.
Time to even the odds.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
My leg Rex. You've killed them. They're my pets.
This is new content. This is something that wasn't in here. And she's got a lightsaber. She's a Jedi. What the fetch is this? This is definitely not in the main game. Are you the thief that Solru is complaining about?
I'm not a thief. People give to the Jedi in exchange for service. They were just giving.
Your pets are killing people.
They only attack the bad people. The salvagers, the thieves. This place is for Jedi. They aren't Jedi. They have to leave.
I sense you have a connection to the Force.
I'm a Padawan. And one day I will learn enough to be a Jedi.
How did a Padawan wind up here?
I was studying here when Darth Malak and the Sith came. I was outside the Enclave when my master left me at the Mandalay estate. Shen protected me. But the Sith came asking questions. All the Mandalays died. But I hid. Even when the estate was burning, I hid. So I hide. I'm hiding until my master returns.
I was a Jedi once too, and hopefully will be again.
We're all so broken. Things have gone so wrong. Please tell me there are masters left that can teach.
Let's see. Someone named Vrook came here not too long ago.
I remember him. I sent my leg Rex to get him to leave, but he just made my pets stop. I was going to talk to him, but the mercenaries came for him. They never come down here. I was surprised and hid. There was a big fight. They said they were going to take him someplace.
About stealing?
I know that was wrong. I'll stop. I was just trying to get enough credits to eat. But I'll think of something else. Something that doesn't hurt anyone.
Let's see. the Jedi. I'm a Jedi. Could you use any of the artifacts you found, or... Yeah.
I found some things. I don't know how to use them. Here, you can have them. I had a holocron, but it said terrible things. I threw it far away.
Oh, that sounds like a Sith holocron. What did it say?
It told me the Jedi were no more, that I needed to survive and do anything to protect my home.
Oh. Where is this holocron now?
I threw it into the ruins. I went back to find it, but the salvagers stole it. It was my only teacher.
What are you going to do now?
I don't know. I'll try to find a master to teach me. There have to be some left. I'm not going to use the Force until I find one. So much has gone wrong. Should I feel bad that I feel better? But I still need to find a master. The lessons I learned, I think I need to unlearn them.
May the Force be with you.
And also with you. Thank you.
Definitely added. Improved deflection emitter, lightsaber emitter fixture. Okay, so I got the emitter. Now I just need a lens. Like, I'm going to confirm that with Bao-Dur.
You know, I'm glad I found you again, General.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about?
We were together at Malachor. I don't know if anyone else could understand.
So why are you here?
You getting philosophical on me? I'm here because you found me on Telos and I decided to come along for the ride. Not that I had much choice after we got going.
I mean, why are you still here?
Tired of me already? I was frustrated. Watching the Ithorians getting pushed around by Zerka, I thought I could make a difference, but it was taken away from me. Guess if one planet was good enough for me, why not the galaxy?
I see. Even if you knew what was wrong with it, how would you know where to start?
You just have to know what the circuits look like.
Let's see. It's all wires and switches to you, huh?
That's the way I see things. Traveling with you, I know there's something else in the universe, but I can't do anything about it anyways, so I'll leave it to you to take care of.
I'll do my best.
Was there something you wanted me for?
Do I have all the lightsaber parts I need?
Let me see what you have. No, you're still missing a lens. Something else.
Alright. There we go. Gotta need a lens. So yeah, this room, I think you find the emitter in this room, but I think they simplified it to just having a corpse. What the fetch is happening? What was that? Okay, stop. What? What the fetch was that? Hello. Whoever you are. Oh, caps lock lets you look in first person. That's kind of fun. Okay, so somehow I clicked on the door. I then warped up to the ceiling, walked through the wall to the back room, then spun around and automatically walked to the door and unlocked it like I was supposed to. That was insane. Hello. Thanks for the polite bow. You must be a gentleman.
I am an historian and scientist working for the Republic, although I'm certain my contemporaries would judge me more a historian than scientist.
What are you doing here?
Like you, I was looking for some trace of the Jedi. I had heard mention that one of the Jedi Masters had gone there, but I found no trace of them.
Do you know what happened to the Jedi?
No. It is something of a mystery why they would exile themselves as they have. It is not the way of the Jedi to vanish in such a way, especially when the Republic is in need of them. I fear that there is something else at work, something that we cannot see. Then again, perhaps the Jedi are hiding simply because so many people hate them these days.
Why do you think people hate the Jedi?
It is difficult sometimes for the Jedi to see such things, since much of it is rooted in human nature, and the Jedi are often removed from events of daily life, insulated. But the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognize the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they are both Jedi, with different philosophies.
Do you hate the Jedi?
Hate? No. I do not hate them. They only raise questions without answers. Jedi are not supposed to be like the rest of us. They are supposed to see a higher purpose in all things, and they are supposed to train students responsibly and well so mistakes of the past are not repeated. Yet all I saw was ignorance and arrogance, and what those seeds created in the Republic. It is difficult to follow the Jedi Code when so few others have, but you know this.
What do you mean?
Many Jedi defy the Order during the Mandalorian Wars, and it paved the way for the Jedi Civil War.
Do you blame the Jedi who turned, or the Council?
There is no blame. All must accept. But, at its core, one must wonder if it was the failure of the Jedi teachings, or the teachers themselves. Many of the Jedi Council trained Exar Kun, Ulic, Revan, and Malak. How could they not see the danger they posed? And if they could not, perhaps there was some essential part of their teachings that was flawed. Something beyond the Jedi Code that they were missing.
Interesting. Ooh, he's actually posing some really interesting Star Wars lore philosophy. Essentially, he's sounding more like what the Grey Jedi become in Legends, which is essentially this guy, like the idea that you can't be pure light side or dark side. Like, they both are extremely flawed in the way they do things. Maybe the light side tends to be a lot more benevolent, but at the same time, there's still these intrinsic flaws in their thinking. The Grey Jedi believe that you should be teaching and embracing both sides, that you needed to learn the patience and the ability to control your emotions like the Jedi, but part of that control is utilizing your emotions, pulling on your anger, your fear, and your doubt, and turning it into something productive rather than simply trying to squash it and pretend it doesn't exist. It sounds like he might be along similar thinking. Alright, so, do you know who trained Revan?
Revan had many masters. Zar, Dorak, Master K before K left for the wars. Towards the end of his training, he sought out many to learn techniques. It is said that he returned to his first master at the end of his training in order to learn how he might best leave the Order.
Revan and Malak would have received the same training I did.
I am not certain you understand what happened with Revan. Do you wish me to explain?
Our Revan was a bit of a nutcase, but yeah, go on.
Revan was captured in the middle of the Jedi Civil War, due in no small part to his apprentice Malak, who turned on him. Revan was brought before the Jedi Council and put on trial. You must understand that the situation was desperate, and the Jedi needed to know how Revan had amassed the forces arrayed against them. As I understand it, they were able to convince Revan to have a change of heart. Revan helped the Republic defeat Malak. Perhaps in his conversation with the Jedi Masters, they were able to convince him of the rightness of their actions.
That's really funny, because that's quite the spin. Because remember, the convincing was that they completely obliterated his identity and used his memories to try and unlock the secrets as they went. They used him like a blunt instrument. It was pretty kind of terrible if you think about it. Can you blame them? Not really, but it wasn't very Jedi of them if you think about it. I mean, I guess better than just killing him outright. But yeah, it's funny that his interpretation of this good one is oh, they convinced him. It's no. Gilly the Bit convinced himself.
What else would you like to know?
Why do you work for the Republic?
I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are instrumental to that effort. Despite the troubles of the Jedi Civil War, there are those among the Republic who still favor the Jedi and wish them to return. And there are admirals within the fleet who recognize that the Jedi must be found if the Republic is to hold together. Yet as long as Onderon remains within the Republic, and the efforts on Telos succeed, that is all that matters.
Interesting. So why Telos and Onderon? This is a great question.
The Republic is fragile right now. Telos is important because its success will determine whether or not the other dead worlds receive the same reconstruction efforts. If Telos is rebuilt and made habitable again, it will affect a string of worlds along the rim.
And Onderon?
Onderon, strangely enough, was unaffected by the Jedi Civil War. It's almost as if Revan didn't want to attack it. Its resources and position on the rim make it a vital supply line and guard post against outer rim attacks. Also, it's the only world in the Republic still capable of seeding ecosystems into other dead worlds. Onderon's wildlife is some of the most aggressive in the known galaxy. Merely placing some of those beasts on target worlds will guarantee their habitation for years to come.
Sounds very invasive. Why is the Jedi Order important?
The Jedi are a symbol. As much damage as their reputation took during the Sith War and the Jedi Civil War, there are still many who they serve as an example. Plus, there have been times in the past where a single Jedi has been enough to change the face of a world, or a galaxy. I suppose I still believe that might be possible. Despite the betrayal of many of the Jedi against the Republic, I must concede that as figureheads, they do serve a vital role.
So he's coming at them from like a civilized station, like saying like, hey, they're flawed, but they still do really good at what they do. Let's see, anything else?
What else would you like to know?
You look familiar to me.
I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Faces tend to blur together after a time. What else would you like to know?
Now, ironically, that must be hinting at something else. But the funny thing is that I have one of those faces too. I get told all the time that people like think they recognize me. I've had people say like, "Oh, did I think I knew you in high school? Did you graduate from so-and-so?" I'm like, "No, I literally grew up on the other side of the country. It cannot possibly be me." Let's see if we're good. I think we're good to go now.
Before you go, I had a question for you. You came to Dantooine in search of Jedi. Why?
I think I have a force binding, so it's like, I need to cut myself off from Kreia. The Sith are awake in the galaxy, and I'm going to need their help to stop them.
If the Sith are rising in the galaxy again, then it is strange the Jedi would not be there to meet them, and that we have not seen more evidence of the Sith.
Trust me, the Sith are out there. They've been hounding me since Paragus.
No, I believe you. I merely find such subtleties among the Sith to be strange. They have been known to practice deception, but in the histories, since the time of the Dark Lords Khoon and Keldroma, and Revan and Malak, such subtleties have been rare. In any case, it seems to me like our goals are compatible. If you would have me, I can apply my knowledge and skills to helping you find the answers you seek.
Look, we're already full up. We don't need anyone else. We travel light.
Atten, you pick... Oh, I just got... recruit the disciple. Oh, I guess we recruited him right there. But I think it's funny because like Atten's like, wait a minute. No. We need all the help we can get, and he seems capable. He's like, just like, okay. So I do need him with me, but I need Bao-Dur with me too. Sorry, Atten. Oh, we lost influence with Atten. Oh, that's not good. There he is. He's a beast now. 3 dead mercenaries lay here, accompanied by signs of combat. Each of the mercenaries bears evidence they were killed by a lightsaber. We're on the right track. Datapad, Azkul's orders. The datapad contains orders from Azkul, the leader of the mercenaries on Dantooine. Vrook has wandered to the Enclave alone. You'll take full squad to capture the Jedi alive, bring him to our nook at the Kinrath Caves, and await transport to Nar Shaddaa. He'll fetch a fine bounty. So now we know where we need to go, and it's where we've already been. Alright, I got your stuff.
I don't suppose you found any of those atmospheric sensors?
Actually, I found 3 of them.
That's great news. My offer still stands. I'll pay you 3,000 credits for all of them.
Sounds like they're worth more to you than that. No, listen, not so fast. We found a little surprise inside them.
I was afraid of that. So, how do we do this, then?
Why is there surveillance equipment inside the sensors?
We were picking up off-world transmissions between the mercenaries and someone we don't know who. We know that the mercs are up to something, we just don't know what. We set those atmospheric sensors up to gather information. Now you know why we need those sensors. I'll pay you 5,000 credits for all 3 of them. That's about all we can afford. You make money and help us out at the same time. What do you say? Thanks for your help on this. Here are the credits as promised.
Okay.
Any luck on getting my modulator back from Joran? I don't think anyone here will be able to help me.
I found your thief.
Excellent. How did you deal with Joran?
Your thief wasn't Joran or a salvager.
It has to be someone near their camp, and no one else lives around them. You might be right, but I doubt it.
The salvagers have been hit by this thief too.
Are they turning on their own? Typical. That's about all I know. I've never seen the thief clearly. Do you have any idea who it is?
A former Padawan was stealing to survive. Or, actually, yeah. It was a young woman scarred by the war.
Really? So it isn't a salvager. Well, the war affected different people different ways. Is she gonna be alright?
I think I set her on the right path.
I guess I had it all wrong. I thought those salvagers were to blame. Look, if you see her again, tell her maybe we can work something out. I need help on my farm. She's already shown she knows something about farming equipment. I know a lot of people that need a second chance right about now.
Nice. I wonder if I can find her.
Here's your reward. Finally, I can get back to work.
Sweet. Heavy sonic blaster and a watchman blaster. Cool, cool.
It's you again. Well, you know who I am. I figure you've got a reason for coming back. You want something?
I cleared out the Kinrath cave.
So you did. Here's the credits I told you about. Even with the caves cleared, I imagine it'll take some time before the Kinrath aren't on the plains. That was very helpful of you. You've saved some lives today. You want something?
I want to talk about the dead salvagers claim.
I'll tell you what I tell all those grubby salvagers.
Oh,
no
whoa,
body,
whoa, whoa.
no claim. I'm no longer even looking at wills or credit notes, and if you think that's gruesome, then go space yourself.
I have the bodies right here. One of them had the will.
Let me see the will. I'll be glad to get rid of this claim and get those salvagers out of my headquarters. He left all his possessions to one of the other dead salvagers? Will I ever get rid of that damn Jedi garbage? Guess nobody gets them now. The administrator will have to figure out what happens to them. And until then, the salvagers are gonna keep bothering me.
Sorry, man. It sucks, but it works. There he is! Master Vrook is enclosed in a force field. The prisoner of these mercenaries, he regards you without expression.
Halt, settler. This is a restricted area. How the hell did you get through the Kinrath? You should leave.
So, the mercenaries are branching out into kidnapping now?
This isn't kidnapping, this is bounty hunting. This Jedi is worth a lot of credits on Nar Shaddaa, and we're collecting. I'm gonna say this nice and simple for your little calf-hurting head. Unless you want to wind up dead, leave now.
I don't want to fight, but I can't let you take Vrook to Nar Shaddaa.
I warned you, but I'm glad you didn't listen. Attack, men!
There we go. Alright, so, you. Whirlwind, and a second one just to follow up. You do you. And you.
I'm listening.
Tear it off.
This battle is joined. Defend yourself.
Almost died. Almost dead. Oh, that was close. Forgot how squishy I am.
Always rushing into action without thinking of the consequences. What? You're expecting thanks? Kunda is in danger, and you've ruined the best chance of averting a full-scale conflict.
I see. I apologize for interfering. I was trying to help.
Right now, Dantooine is at a critical moment. If Kunda falls, then the Republic may lose control of this system. Still, I'm surprised you were able to get this far. Although you do have your Jedi training to fall back on. Every action has consequences, no matter how small or insignificant they seem. And even the smallest choice has the potential for harm. The Mandalorian Wars was proof of this. Intentions mean nothing if a greater tragedy is caused.
Alright, let's see. Okay, what should we do now?
I need to get to Kunda and warn them. They could be attacked at any moment.
How can I help?
If you wish to prove yourself, then do so. Kunda's in danger and they need our help. The mercenaries have allied themselves with the exchange
that's who they were talking to.
Attack Kunda. They've been holding off for the right moment. And now, since they lost their captive Jedi, they'll attack immediately. I'm going to try to reach Administrator Adari. Time is of the essence.
Alright, now, we gotta go as well. I don't think there's... Yeah, I guess there's a few new boxes, but I think we already looted everything here. Let me see. Yeah. All right. So there's a few new things, but we pick it up and we're ready to go. All right. Data pack contains orders from Azkul, the senior mercenary officer. The mercenaries have recently made a secret alliance with the Exchange, are planning an imminent attack on Kunda with the administrator Adar dead, and the Exchange will be able to use Dantooine for their illicit activities. Completely undetected by the Republic. All preparations for the mercenary attack have been made. They could attack Kunda at any moment. Dishkaba. That's, yeah, we certainly walked right into that mess. So, now we get out of here. We go, and we start my favorite part of this planet, and honestly, probably my favorite part of all the planets in the entire game. Because this part is just... Oh, they just did such a good job making it feel like you actually get to participate in the events rather than just reacting to them.
You are the Jedi I've heard reports
aye.
of, and I am Azkul, leader of the mercenaries on Dantooine.
And the bottom of the screen is not black like it should be. I learned you're planning an assault on Kunda.
That is correct, and I want you to help me.
But why attack Kunda?
You don't need to know the details, but I can tell you there are a lot of credits involved.
Why would I help you?
According to my reports, I have 4 times as many soldiers as the militia, and I'm committed to taking Kunda. It is inevitable that I will succeed. If you wish to avoid my men eradicating the people of Dantooine, you will make it easier for me to take Kunda. Of course, I will pay well for your services.
I'm not interested.
You'd better reconsider. I can't have a Jedi interfering with my plans. There is a considerable bounty on your kind that I will collect on unless you're working for me.
I cannot allow your plans to succeed.
Men, I trust you can handle this Jedi.
All right, boys, let's dance!
I'm ready.
Oh, fetch, I'm down. Oh, that's not good. Oh no. Well, that didn't go well. I need to be a bit more careful about that fight, apparently. Well, that was a nightmare. I had to cheese the crap out of that because those guys are freaking monsters. How did they do so much damage so quickly? Like, it's utterly insane. That was such a spike in difficulty. I'm flabbergasted. I'm not sure what I did wrong there. I've been doing everything else pretty smoothly and not had any issues, but that apparently was just all too much for us. Now that that's nonsense is done, now for the best part of the game. It's about us trying to prepare for an imminent attack. And like the stuff we get to do so is really fun. So we're gonna go inside, gonna go talk to what's-her-face, and then we're going to get ready. Yes, we got the best powers. Oh, just in time. Oh, yes. All right, now this should be a lot easier. Force wave. It's really good. And with my high wisdom, I should be able to do quite a bit.
I see you have found the elusive Master Vrook. He's told me that his rescue complicated our situation to some degree. I can't say that I anticipated that. I thank you for finding him, though.
He looks very
Vrook
upset.
has informed me that the mercenaries devised a plan of attack to annihilate Kunda itself. I must ask for your aid again, Jedi. Zeron says that even with a plan, the mercenaries have to gather their forces, then coordinate their assault. So we still have time. I'm afraid the militia has not been adequately trained for the task that befalls them.
Right. What can I do to help?
Our militia is effective at peacekeeping, but isn't prepared for a full-scale battle. If you can do anything to ready them for the reality of it, that would be helpful. Besides that, look around Kunda and see what you can do to strengthen our defenses. I know that we don't have the perimeter turrets online, and that alone could make a significant difference. Zeron says there is a considerable chance they will breach Kunda itself. Anything you can do to slow them down could turn the tide of battle.
Alright, who knows about the attack?
Right now, just us and the militia. I don't want to create a needless panic. But be assured I will make sure that all civilians are warned in time so they can get to safety. Though
Good.
if we lose this battle, nowhere on Dantooine will be safe for settlers for long.
Alright, let's see. Can you give me anything to help?
I have instructed the militia and other Kunda personnel.
Alright.
Here soon.
Now we're gonna go around and set up defenses.
You heard what the administrator said. We'll have time to talk more when this is all over.
Alright, sounds good. Oh yeah, let's talk to what's his bucket here.
I was right about you. You are trouble, but you might just be the right sort of trouble we need. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to finalize the defense plans?
No, I need more time. I'll go see what I can do.
When you're ready, come.
Okay. So now we gotta go, and I think we got Bao-Dur. Hopefully he can help reduce some of the costs involved. Turret control station, let's get you on there. Slice the computer for 0 spikes. I can... So, change the turret, so currently it attacking targets friendlies and hostiles. So attack only hostiles. I'll treat your wounds.
Thanks, stranger. I should be back to duty in no time. Thanks, stranger. Thanks, stranger. Thanks, stranger.
Okay, that's good. Uh-oh. Am I stuck now, though? There we go. Okay. Whew! That was scary. Okay. Wounded militia healed. Now, droids. Alright, so they're all set then. Sweet. Alright. So we'll have their help. That'll be very good. Now, if I have Bao-Dur talk to him, let's see if we can get something here.
Greetings.
Droid, run self-diagnostic and report.
Processing. Exterior damage analysis. Level 7 impairment. Multiple casing breaches detected. Bipedal servos misaligned by 32 degrees. Memory storage overflow. Memory unit is approximately 56 months overdue for maintenance.
Dang. Fix the droid's memory unit.
Greetings, Jedi. Welcome back to Dantooine.
Hey, you remembers us.
Did that droid just call you a Jedi?
That's right.
A Jedi. I've got to tell the others.
The droid's obviously malfunctioning. Do I look like a Jedi?
Yeah, sure you do. I've got to tell the others.
Oh well. Just go and fix the droid.
Greetings, Jedi. May I be of any further service to you?
Let's see, why did you call me a Jedi?
My memory banks recognize you as a Jedi. You are among many Jedi who were trained in the Academy here at the Enclave, prior to its destruction during the Sith invasion.
What do you know of me specifically?
You are on the register as one of the Jedi who left the Enclave to fight in the Mandalorian Wars. My memory has no record of your return before now.
Is that all?
You had no direct interaction with this droid. However, I had one instance of a conversation between Masters Vrook and Vandar regarding you.
Tell me more.
Beginning playback. Error. Recording partially corrupted. Resolving.
Today I caught her in a heated argument with my Padawan. Her master refuses to properly discipline. I want to know what action you intend.
Vrook, I respect your wisdom, but it is not your concern.
But uncontrolled. Whatever the other Padawans see her do, they are quick to do the same. Other students dislike her intensely.
True. An average student of the Force, but with a unique strength, is a natural leader.
I strongly disagree. Mediocre Jedi, lust for power.
Oh no.
Will lead to the dark side. Furthermore,
Recording degraded. End playback. May I be of any further service to you?
They were big fans of me. Let's see. I go down. Okay. Now that's done. Okay, so we are now ready for our confrontation. I have filled the minefields. I've made sure that the defense turrets are on and targeting hostiles. They were, for some reason, programmed to target everybody. I fixed the medical droid. I healed everybody in the medical bay. I also have turned on and repaired all the droids and gave them all their upgrades. And yeah, I think that's everything. Like, I thought there's more I could do, so I'm going to do a double check real quick to make sure. Like, I thought I could seal the back door, but it didn't come up, so maybe that was something that got taken out in the fix, so I don't know why. But yeah, if everything else is looking good, I think we're ready to proceed with this attack.
I was right about you. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize.
Alright, what's involved in finalizing the defenses?
Inspecting the perimeter, talking to the troops, and coming up with a battle plan. I fought in a war or two, but I'm no general. In my experience, people like you are better at strategy. You want a hand in making the plan, you got it.
Okay. I'm ready to finalize the battle plans.
You sure? Once we're done with that, there may not be any time left before the mercenaries attack.
I'm certain I've done all I can.
Alright, then we got a lot to do.
Alright, here we go. This is gonna suck. Because that combat outside the cave was awful. I imagine it's not going to be much easier in here.
Since you are here to bolster Kunda's defense, I will hurry to the mercenary camp and delay their assault however I can.
There he goes, lightsaber in hand.
I imagine that the mercenaries have got two goals in this whole thing. Kill me and kill the administrator. The rest of the settlers won't have courage to resist if they succeed.
So what's the plan?
The administrator's locked up in her office tight, which means that the mercs have to go through us and Kunda's defenses. It isn't going to be easy. I suspect we're going to have to fight on the inside. They've got 3 entrances they're going to try and break in. Here's the front door, the security door on the side, and the garage door in back. We got 3 squads of militia. We can assign people to the front, back, or inside. Backside has to guard 2 entrances. The front will have to fight more people, and the inside will have to deal with any that break through. So, where do you think the first squad should be deployed?
Okay, could you tell me more about the squads?
First squad is most experienced. The only squad that could go blaster to blaster against the mercs. Second squad has a lot of passion, but no experience. Third squad is new and not trained too well, and they may break in combat. They need a good leader to make them effective. So, where do you think the first squad should be deployed?
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Squad 1 is very good. Squad 2 is eager but not experienced. And Squad 3 is new and might break. So what I'm thinking is that we take the experienced squad and the new squad and we interming them to the back to kind of guard like what's going on in the backside. Oh, okay. Actually, no. Never mind. So we have main entrance, the back, and inside by the administrator's door. Okay. Okay. So I think we should have the... So first squad, the most experienced, I think they should be deployed by the main entrance. They're gonna have to go through the most people. They need to coordinate and be the best they can.
The battles that had the least dying were always led by Jedi. I'm gonna go with what you think. Where do you want the second squad?
I want them back by the garage. They're enthusiastic. They're not gonna be quick to turn and run away.
Alright. Where do you want the third squad, the new recruits?
We're gonna have them inside by the administration's door because they can't run away from there. So they're gonna have to fight or die, essentially. And it also, they might feel like more supported by us.
Fine by me. The last question is, where do you want to go? Either the front or the back. I'll take whichever one you don't. That way both sides have leadership.
Okay. This is definitely different. So this must be part of the remake, because when I played the core game, essentially you made all your choices and then they just kind of played a cutscene and then the results were done. So, I'll try covering the back 2 entrances.
The back? I suppose that there is more ground to cover with the 2 entrances. Alright, I'll take the front. Once the fighting starts, you gotta stay in your area. We both have to guard our half of the battlefield. Come over to me and the mercs will just charge straight into Kunda. Thanks to you, they're gonna have a tougher job. That's about it. Now we just need to dig in and wait for the mercs to come.
Have you talked to the men?
Well, I'll tell them what's there to do. I'm not much for words.
I think I could use some. I think they could use some encouragement. Maybe I could speak to them.
All right, I'll assemble the men. I hope you can speak good.
It's one of the only things I'm good at. Okay. Tell them they're doomed. Or they're not to get killed. Let's see. When their friends or family counting them. Tell them this is a chance to make history. Dantooine's short history has been a constant tale of rugged people surmounting difficult odds. Never have the odds been so great or the future so uncertain. But today is your chapter. Your tale. Generations yet born will look upon the upcoming battle with pride and wonder. I will not lie, the risks are great. The threat is real. But I would stand beside any one of you proudly as we face our destiny on this field of battle. This is our day, our valiant chance to free Dantooine. Who will fight beside me?
I don't have the words. That was really something. I think any one of them would take a blaster bolt for you now. Let's get ready for the mercenaries.
Oh,
if
boy.
we fall here, all of Dantooine falls with us.
Tell me what you see, soldier.
They're mobilizing the militia. Looks like a lot of activity down there.
They've been warned. It won't be of any use. The plan doesn't change. Captains, prepare your men. Their leader, Administrator Tarina, must not survive the battle. Everything else is secondary to that objective.
Alright. Here they come. Aww, why are my minds going off? Okay. Thank you, turrets. Really has a lot less oomph in that video, huh? Alright, 2 available slots, huh? I think I'll take Kreia. And Bao-Dur. Kreia, because like I could use the extra force powers, especially if I get to level her up. Darn it, the downside is I can't see anything here. Yeah, look at that. Suck.
I will silence this one.
I hit them all. I just hit them all. Hit them with damage. And they stun. They can't do a thing.
We've lost too many soldiers. Fall back inside.
I feel like we did pretty well. I was able to get 2 rounds. I don't know if there's supposed to be more rounds, but like, I feel like if I can just get my force powers out there, I'm doing great.
So you're the Jedi. I take it you are responsible for the surprises we've had during this battle. Stand
Look at those
aside.
droids.
Our quarrel is with a distinguished administrator. This isn't your problem.
I won't let you kill her.
Then you've allied with these flaming settlers. The galaxy doesn't tolerate weakness. I was trained at Malak's academy. Your tricks won't work on me. You're just another dead Jedi to me.
Sorry I was held up, but it looks like I've arrived in time to pull you out of your predicament.
Kill them all.
Alright, so he says he's gonna be immune. Let's see if that's true. Nope. He's stunned.
This won't take long.
Die! Die! Mwah!
Thank you so much for your aid. You can be sure that Dantooine will not forget how the Jedi protected us from this threat.
Yes, I am become a god. The Jedi, it was actually just one Jedi. I'm considered an outcast by the other Jedi.
I'm sorry to offend you. You are, of course, our savior, and I am very grateful to you.
I'm happy to help.
We are a humble community, and this conflict has greatly diminished our resources. I hope this reward will be sufficient.
Please keep the credits and use them to rebuild Kunda.
I am humbled by your generosity. I will put this to good use. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much work to do. Dantooine will be slow to rebuild, but I am confident now that we will one day achieve prosperity.
Yeah.
Kunda is safe in no small part due to you. I feel certain that the Administrator wouldn't have made it without your assistance. I may have misjudged you. In any case,
that's a lot for him.
I am free to talk about whatever you wish.
Where are all the Jedi?
There are a few of us left, but I do not even know if the others still live. We may be the last. We've been forced to divide our forces and retreat to places which will be difficult for our enemies to detect and attack.
So it's like, it sounds like they know that Sith are hunting them down. Where are these other Jedi?
We have chosen to hide our presences from each other, so that the discovery of one will not endanger the others.
But how can you contact each other?
We cannot. And we have resolved not to until we have found where the Sith are striking from. But even as our numbers thin, there is still no trace of them. We had hoped to outmaneuver them. By letting them believe themselves victorious, we thought they would become bold and step from the shadows.
And then what?
Then, all of us who remained vowed to meet here on Dantooine. From here, we can plan a course of action and carry the battle to them. But so far, they remain in hiding, and Jedi continue to vanish and die.
I want to talk about something else.
You have more questions for me?
See, we already answered all that. I need to know why you... why did you cut me off from the Force?
We did nothing to you. Accuse us if you will, but it will not change the truth. Cutting one off from the Force. Such punishments are reserved for only a few. Although it was within our power, we did not inflict such a loss upon you. Your loss was a casualty of war, no more.
That's an interesting point. So, Kreia told us that she thought the Jedi cut us off, and it is possible. But he said, no, we didn't do that. But I've reestablished my connection to the Force.
Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago.
But I'm using the Force.
Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate in the Council. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. You have more questions for me?
Let's see, Let's see. At the end of my trial, you and the other masters said something happened to me. What was it?
You have seen the end of your trial? Perhaps you would like to explain how you came to this knowledge.
I heard it in a hollow transcript of my trial.
That was intended only for the Jedi Council. If what remains of the Council chooses to tell you, then I will abide by their decision and its consequences.
Don't you think I have the right to know?
There is little I can tell you. Master Kavar felt something had happened to you in the war, but all he had was suspicions, not truths. And Kavar was too close to you in any event. He, too, felt the call of war and took to battle more than a Jedi should. His speculations would not help you now, but enough of this. It is knowledge for the Council alone until they choose to reveal it. You have more questions for me?
Okay, The Sith have revealed themselves.
Have they? I've seen no evidence of them upon Dantooine. Only murderers and raiders.
They exist. They have already attacked me.
Why would they attack you? You are no Jedi. You cannot feel the Force.
But I have reestablished my connection to the Force.
Perhaps it is Dantooine still.
Nevertheless, the Sith are hunting me.
For some reason, I believe you. Still, I am curious as to how they would know to find you. Your trial was not public knowledge. Regardless, these Sith have struck, and you survived. This is more knowledge than I had before. And that means the Jedi may gather. If you can find others, or find some trace of the Sith threat, then we shall gather here on Dantooine. And from there we may decide what can be done. You have more questions for me?
I think that's everything. Do you know anything about force bonds or how to end them?
Force bonds? Yes. It is the bond that grows between master and student. Are you saying you have bonded with another?
Yes, and the connection is lethal.
Such bonds normally grant strength to both, but not to such a degree. Are you certain? Perhaps it is merely what you believe. Still, your ability to form such connections, to influence others, was always a subject of discussion, even when you were a student here. Perhaps it is a punishment of a sort. But a bond that ties two lives together, such bonds do not seem natural to me. And with your loss of connection to the Force, it seems such a connection would be impossible.
Now here's the interesting thing. So, this bond, we've actually seen it being canonized now. I didn't really think of it until this point, but like the bond between Kylo Ren and Rey in the sequel trilogy might have been inspired by the bonds expressed here. The bond that was first between Bastila and Revan, and now the bond between the exile and Kreia. This idea that people can become so bonded it starts breaking like the laws of the universe.
Perhaps it is Dantooine.
Alright, so I already did that. I think I'll be going now.
I suppose there is something I should show you. It will keep you alive long enough to prove useful. When you are facing a long campaign, you need to be more conservative with how you use your Force energy. This form gives you increased Force affinity. In simple terms, it helps you to quickly regenerate Force energy in the middle of a fight.
Okay. Very useful.
I don't know how you learned that so quickly. Still, your form is sloppy. Keep practicing to tighten it up and you'll be fine.
He's the oh gosh. Who's the Hell's Kitchen? He's the Gordon Ramsay of Jedi. Alright, so let me see if I got this. So Force Channel and Force Affinity. It increases Force Regain and Force Point Regain and Force Damage for Force Channel. So I feel like Force Channel is the superior to Force Affinity. Alright, now Bao-Dur.
Yes, General?
Do I have all the parts of the lightsaber I need?
Let me see what you have. That's everything. Now all you need is a little quiet time with the workbench.
What lightsaber do you want to create? One-handed lightsaber. What color crystal do you want to use? I can do cyan, violet, or green. So violet is my past. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Violet. Yeah! Lightsaber! And we can go and upgrade it too. So I'm gonna upgrade it first and then... Oh, I forgot I could even loot these things. But yeah, so I'll upgrade it and then we will level up the Joan of Arclight crystal. So currently, what does this do? So adds +1 light side damage, dexterity 2, strength 1, wisdom 3. Very cool. I probably boost those based on like my top 3 attributes and just boost them. All right, charisma and wisdom up, attack and damage, on hit stun. Pretty solid, honestly, if I were more of an aggressive one. So I'm gonna get the wisdom and charisma up because I am more backline anyway. Damage bonus. Dang, that's actually a lot. So I'll do that for now. And defense bonus. Yeah, so like this defense bonus is down, but it makes stuns happen. I don't need that. I got the force for that. So I'll just make it so it's easier for me to block things. And I don't have an energy cell, so assemble. And then the grand reveal. Time for me to shine. Yes! Here we are! Lightsaber returned. Is there a flourish button? Yes! X is the flourish button. And I will level up as well.
Unnecessary
oh no!
Targets acquired. Annoying recitation.
Again?
Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Recitation. And bring about the termination of hostilities.
Let us end this.
Systems failing, Master. Systems failing, Master.
All too easy. Droid processor. That might be all the parts I need. That could be really interesting. Alright, so now to save, because stuff might be going down here. Just saying. Yep, here we are. I go on. It's quiet. Too quiet. Something down this corridor. Oh, fetch me. They're all in Krea's room. Here she is. What have you done to the crew? Such a good character. Alright, so. I need to heal. Powers. Oh, I still can't get some of those top tier ones yet. Whoa, what the fetch is happening to me? I'm stunned. That's new. No, you don't. You stay on the ground, you. That was crazy what she just did to me. I was like seeing blue. I just pick you up and slam you against the bulkhead until you die. Bingo.
My lightsaber. You've destroyed it. I yield, Master. It is as I heard through the Force. My life for yours.
I will not kill you.
You must. The alternative is only another death. And I would rather die by your hands.
Look, you're wounded. Stand. Let me get you to the medbay.
I have nothing to offer you. Your strength is superior. It is as I felt.
Welcome to one of the coolest original characters ever.
Now I've seen everything. This woman, she's a Miraluka. I didn't think any were left in this part of the galaxy.
Is her kind rare?
Yeah, they're a pretty secretive race. I heard that some of their kind become Jedi, but a Sith? That's a new one. I'm not sure how you'd go about killing one. It'd be tricky.
Killing one?
Just mentioning it. She looks like she's suffered enough wounds already, even after the beating you gave her.
Is she going to be alright?
Well, some of her wounds are pretty bad. Looks like she was already carrying her share of scars, though. I think she'll recover, yeah.
If her condition changes, let me know. I didn't want to hurt her.
You spared her.
You're surprised? I trust her more than I trust you. I don't believe in killing prisoners, or the wounded.
I did not believe you would. I am more concerned about what she will do when she recovers. Just be careful. Not everyone can be saved.
You scavenged the part from Visa Marr's lightsaber. Oh, now we're just gonna be flowing right into conversations with people, I think. Alright, never mind. Okay. So we got a double-bladed lightsaber. I think it was supposed to give us a part, but it gave us a whole lightsaber. And I influence with Visas and Disciple. Very good. Very, very good indeed.
Having you here has an effect on me, General. I never noticed it years ago. I think my mind was too occupied then.
It's good to hear I'm having a positive effect on you.
I feel calm, more in control. The anger is still there, but I can feel it drifting away. The last years of my life have been defined by it. The Mandalorians, Zerka, and Revan. And above all else, myself, for Malachor.
What about me, forgiving the Order?
Never, General. It had to be done. My hands destroyed the Mandalorians. I cannot be forgiven for that.
If Ulic Queldrama could be forgiven for waging a war against the Republic, you can be forgiven for saving it.
Even if I did it out of hatred of the Mandalorians?
You did it to save us, to protect us from death.
That might be the truth, but I don't want to see it that way. I can't just ignore the blood on my hands.
You've dwelt on the past for too long. You cannot undo history, but you can change the future.
Even if there isn't, I still feel like I need to do something to make up for it.
Learn the ways of the Force. I can teach you. But you must let go of your anger, or else it will destroy you, and you will fail. Or actually, this one. If you'll let me teach you the Force, you can become... teach you, the Force can become your shield. I believe you could learn to become a Jedi.
Under your guidance, I feel like I could overcome my anger.
Then there's no time to waste. Yeah, this is the thing! Most people never see this. Most people have never done this, even if they played this game a dozen times. I present to you Bao-Dur, the Jedi. Well, training montage first, of course. But yes. This is one of the coolest things ever, and you cannot do it unless you have Bao-Dur with you on Dantooine and you get those 2 influence points on him. Look at that. Oh, you okay, dude? Oh, he's training with the remote. He's training with his remote. Bao-Dur has now become a Jedi Guardian. Yeah! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Now let's go talk to Visas.
My life for yours.
Are you alright?
I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you.
That's not what I asked. I asked if you were alright.
I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
I know. And I fear that others will see the mercy in your actions, and in my survival, and use it as a weapon to do you greater harm.
How did you find me?
I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it.
Who sent you?
I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why.
I need to know where I can find your master.
You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels. Until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready.
Ready?
If I bring you before my master, untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter.
She likes us. My life is unimportant. Your master threatens more than just me.
I cannot. I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found.
If he's behind what has befallen the Jedi, then he must be stopped.
You will meet my master. It is inevitable. I have seen it. And when you stand before him and realize what you face, you must be prepared. Until then, I must protect you, help you, until you are ready.
Why are you doing this for me?
There's a greatness in you. A greatness that does not stem from the Force. It stems from who you are. And if my master does not understand you, cannot see you, then perhaps there is hope for us all. But if you seek to survive, then you must understand why this is so.
If your master has trouble detecting me, how were you able to do it?
There is much I see my master cannot. I fear it is because of my nature, the nature of my race. My people spend their lives seeing the galaxy, the energy streaming off stars, the growth of life, all things touched by the Force.
Where are your people, your world now?
It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction.
How was it destroyed?
The planet was not destroyed. It remains. It orbits, dead in space. But nothing lives on its surface. It echoes, but there's no one left to hear it.
If your homeworld was destroyed, how did you survive?
I am not certain I did. I was there when the planet died. To see everything around you extinguished. It was as if I was blinded. It was as if the Force had been bled from the world.
As if suddenly everything suddenly went silent.
I imagine there are worse deaths, worse pain. But if there are, I do not know them. I was the only living thing remaining on the planet of KOTOR. And my life, my agony, was a flicker in the darkness that was the planet. All that I had been connected to had been severed.
I've seen similar acts of destruction at Malachor.
I've heard tales of Malachor. It is said that many of my people felt the end of the Mandalorian Wars from across the galaxy. But do not mistake me. I did not mean to draw comparisons between KOTOR and Malachor. My homeworld still exists. It is intact. I will answer what I can.
So, death of the world, sucked dry of all life. Pretty grim, really. And it's interesting because this proved to be, if it played the KOTOR online, this proved to be a kind of preliminary concept to what was eventually the foundation of the war that's depicted in the online game. I don't think they intended the third entry to be an MMO. I think that kind of got hybridized into the system by BioWare when they got bought out. Because, money, money, money. But it definitely, like, the core story elements were clearly being derived from this time, at least. Let's see. Was your master behind the destruction of Paragus?
My master did not cause the end of the planet you speak of. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same. The death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you. I will...
Let's see, I heard your species is blind. How are you able to see?
My people once had the power to perceive events, to see through the Force. That sight may manifest itself in many ways, and at times, I may affect the abilities of others to see as well.
That's what happened in the fight. I understand.
Is there something else you wished?
Let me see. Actually, I want to see. You sound as if sight is lost to you.
My sight has been damaged. What I have taught you, it is not the full extent of the perceptions of my people.
Basis of the limited ability to see the Force. She has Force sight in first-person mode. Can use it as a Force power, and you can also use a Force power by spending Force points.
My master, when he showed me my world, showed it to me as it is. It hurt. And since that moment, it has been difficult to perceive the Force as I once did. But after traveling with you, I feel that perhaps there was a gift in it, hidden beneath the pain.
When one endures, it gives hope to others and themselves.
Only when one suffers do certain truths become evident, both of the galaxy and of the self. And I feel you are an example of this.
Let me see. How do you see through the Force?
If you wish to know, perhaps it is possible to show another what my people see, what I see. First, you must close your eyes. The surface of the ship, its sights, will only be a distraction. Now, in your mind, reach out. Listen for my breathing. Do not focus on the sound, but the life behind it. Imagine its energy, its texture, in tandem with the breathing. And then in your mind, step back from the image and see what remains. There. It is not as difficult as I thought. You learn quickly.
You gain the Force points, and Force sight allows you to perceive the alignment of others and seeing through obstacles and threats beyond you.
It will take effort to maintain such sight, but you now have that power, and with it you can use it to see life around you in a different way, as I used to see it.
Alright, I'll be going now.
Forgive me, but before you go I must ask, why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me?
Because I believe you can be saved.
You must not do this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me.
To help others is not a weakness. It's a strength to them both.
So you say. But it is not something I have observed or seen.
What do you mean?
I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories. Or the planet itself.
Let's see.
It is not a
Okay, we already got that.
I will answer.
Alright, so light side points gained, influence gained, Visas, maximum Force points increased. Now that's the thing. So when we talked to her, she was kind of neutral, a bit on the dark side. But we go to see her now, it'll be different. But the cool thing is, remember I found first person was caps lock? Oh. Okay, maybe I have to activate it or something. Oh yeah, here it is. Boom! That's much better than it used to be. So now, I can see people's alignments. Like how blue they are, or how red they are. It's pretty sweet. Disciple, welcome aboard.
There is something I have observed, and now I feel I must say it. I have found your presence to be inspiring. With your growth in the Force, you seem to have found your center. And throughout the dangers we face, you remain calm and focused.
Let's see, you're right. I've never felt better.
I understand now why others followed you to war. Perhaps that is what leadership is. And it is something I have seen in only a few during my travels. In any event, it has been some time since I traveled with a Jedi, nor one so firmly upon the path. I wanted to thank you. I fear the stories that were spoken of you have misrepresented you, and if I have the opportunity, I shall reverse them whenever they arise.
Thank you for your kind words, but they're not necessary.
Very well. Then I shall keep my favorable opinions to myself.
Oh, how suave.
That is hardly surprising. What do you wish to know?
You look familiar to me.
You are correct. I am afraid I have not been entirely open with
interesting.
you concerning my past. If I look familiar, it is because we have met before, at the Enclave on Dantooine, many years ago.
Oh, so were you a
As on
Padawan?
Coruscant, Force-sensitive children are taken to Dantooine as well, though it is done rarely and only with those they believe are destined to become Jedi Knights. It is the secret nature of the place. If you are not chosen by a master when you have come of age, however, then the path of the Jedi is denied to you. I met you on Dantooine, long ago, briefly. You taught us the ways of the Force, how to hear it sing within others, within the life around Dantooine. It is difficult to explain the difference between you and Master Vrook, but I think it is because he was knowledgeable, but not a leader, not a mentor. You were different. We could all feel it. And I knew that if I were to have a master, I would want it to be you.
Oh, fetch me.
And then you went to war. Many Jedi went to war, and the Jedi Masters proclaimed that you were Jedi no longer. Atris, the mistress of the archives, was first among them. I knew at that moment that if you would no longer be a Jedi, then you must be correct. I realized I did not want to be a Jedi.
Oh,
Instead,
man.
I wished to follow your path, and in any event, there was no one to train me, even if I wished it. They all went to war, as I grew past the age of acceptance.
Okay. So you turned away from the Jedi and the Force because of me?
It is possible to forget the Force, you know. If you have not felt it strongly enough, then there is little to miss. But I never felt the Force as strongly as I did when I was with you. And so I decided to serve the Republic, study the Jedi teachings, gather them perhaps.
Okay.
It was important to me to understand the Jedi now that they were gone. I felt some part of you should be preserved, so that your lessons would not be lost.
That could have ended up having major consequences, actually. I'm sorry that my leaving for war had such consequences on your future. Oh, yeah, let's see. It was not my intention to leave, but I had to.
Perhaps. I still harbor doubts about the path I walked.
I could train you to feel the Force again.
It is not time.
Okay. Let me see. What are you doing for the Republic, then?
I am on a diplomatic mission. I am one of several tasked with attempting to contact any remaining Jedi and convince them to return to the Republic.
Have you had any luck?
I do not think it is a matter of luck or chance. Only my own inability to find them. While the Enclave trained me for many things, I am afraid that the life of a bounty hunter was not among them. I suspect my turning away from the Force is also a hindrance in such cases. I imagine the Jedi would be easier to find if I still maintained my connections to the Force.
I found one of the lost Jedi.
You have? Where have they gone? And why?
Let's see. It seems they've scattered over the past few years across various planets. It's as if they went into exile.
Like you? Curious. It is unlike the Jedi to vanish when the Republic is in need of them, and the Republic is more in need of them now than ever.
I think they've gone to search of what made the rest of the lost Jedi vanish.
What was that? Do you know?
I believe Sith Assassins have been stalking the Jedi, murdering them one by one.
Perhaps the Sith have learned from Malak's defeat and have chosen a different tactic. It is like them to strike from the shadows. This has Revan's mark in things.
But I thought Revan had redeemed himself by defeating Malak.
Yes, but there is much of Revan's legacy that was not undone in the Jedi Civil War. I suspect these assassins are one of them. Master Vandar spoke of these assassins in the council chambers. They were used before large assaults on planets and Jedi to weaken them. That is hardly...
Let me see... Tell me about your training on Dantooine.
Many Jedi went to go fight in the Mandalorian Wars, and few returned. To their disciples left behind on Dantooine, on Coruscant, there were few masters to train them. I was one such student. Perhaps not as strong in the Force as the others, but it really did not matter. The teachers left behind were few. Only a few students were accepted as the Mandalorian Wars raged on, and when I came of age, there were no masters left to train me. So I was forced to leave the Order, to seek my path elsewhere. It was for the best, I think. I had begun to have doubts, and I think the Masters were aware of them.
Do you blame the Jedi who left? Do you blame me?
Never. I have seen you, traveled with you. My life was mine, not chained to yours.
I'm sorry if my leaving ruined your chances of becoming a Jedi Knight.
Your apologies are not needed or warranted. I chose not to follow the Jedi, and the choice was my own. Forgive me, but there is something I must ask. In my study of the Jedi histories and the more contemporary records, I have heard tales of a Jedi who was exiled. You are that Jedi, but the records are somewhat evasive on why this was done. I wanted to discuss why you chose to leave the Jedi Order and accept exile.
I left to protect the innocents on the Outer Rim.
I see. And because you went to war, they cast you out?
At first I thought that was the sole reason. Now I'm not so sure.
Do you have a record of this trial?
Yes, the droid has a holo recording of it.
Perhaps I shall examine it when I get the chance. With your permission.
Feel free to... I trust you. Go ahead.
I appreciate your trust. Thank you.
Alright, influence. And I'm going to try talking to him again real quick, because maybe we can see another training montage here. I don't know.
I have studied the holo record of your trial. I am unsure what to make of it. I must confess that I was searching for some meaning beyond the records. A reason for why one would leave the Order.
Why?
Did you know that exile is a rare sentence? It is not really something that the Order can enforce. Believe it or not, it was really your choice.
You saw the record. There was no choice. It was a sentence.
I don't think so. Perhaps some of them felt strongly about your sentence, but I think something else concerned them. Again, the choice to turn away was yours, not theirs.
Why does this interest you?
Because I, too, turned away from the Order. Under less extreme circumstances, perhaps, but stemming from the same reasons.
I still don't believe my exile was my choice.
I'm not certain I do either, but it is something worth considering. Because Then I shall speak... Yes? Is something wrong?
What are you doing?
At times, I meditate, simply close my eyes, and listen. It is quite calming. I try to treasure these moments before the next crisis begins.
I agree. Can you teach me to meditate?
Of course. It would be my pleasure.
Yep, just the sword, just sitting there. You recovered force points and a one-time bonus to your FP through meditation. You can meditate with Disciple anytime if no enemies are nearby.
I try to treasure these moments before the next crisis begins.
Other questions?
That is hardly... I think you are right.
Yes!
It is time.
Time!
I have watched you. You have become strong in the Force again. But that is not all. You have achieved a center in the chaos around us, and I have felt it. My master, the one intended for me, left to fight in the Mandalorian Wars. Now she has returned, and I ask her now if she will train me in the ways of the Force.
I will train you.
The one who was to be my master was lost at Malachor 5.
So it ends.
I want you to teach me the ways of the Force, to become a Jedi Knight, what I meant to be.
Then let us meditate and open ourselves to the Force. Yeah! Imagine initial teaching Jedi, your first steps within the Enclave. Oh, that's what I said, sorry. Remember the wind among the plants of Dantooine, the feel of life all around you. Think of what you felt when our paths crossed again. And at last, see the galaxy through the Force. The disciple is taking his first steps on the path of the Jedi Consular. He will grow in ability if he travels with you and learns what you know through the Force. Well, he's not going to be wearing armor anymore then. I was hoping he was going to become a Guardian, but okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Ah, you are here. You felt it, did you not?
It was Visas' master. He can feel my presence in the Force.
The time to hide your presence is coming to a close, and you will need to increase your training. You are ready.
Yes!
Your training must increase, and there are higher mysteries you must learn. But only you must know the path you will take. I cannot choose it for you. Is it battle that stirs you? To meet an enemy blade upon blade? Such is the way of the greatest of Jedi warriors, the Weapon Masters. Or perhaps it is investigating the mysteries of the galaxy, seeking out injustice and harm, and bringing it into the light. Such is the way of the Jedi Watchman in the time of Ulic Qel-Droma and Exar Kun.
Yes.
Or perhaps your way lies upon the ancient mysteries, and to teach others the ways of the Force, as I have, the way of the Jedi Masters.
I know what it is. The training and learning of the ways of the Force is the Jedi Master.
It is not some great test you require to be what you strive to be. It is only your decision to find that path that matters. From here on, you guide your destiny. But in order to take the next steps, you must face your past and put it to rest.
You have become a prestige class, taking your first steps to learning the higher mysteries of the Force. Yes! So now, we go in here, and I level up. But you see, like, so I've got I'm Consular. But, like, now I'm going to level up as a Jedi Master. So I have, like, 16 levels of Jedi Consular, and now 1 level of Jedi Master. And every level from here on will be Jedi Master. So I still have similar restrictions, it looks like. Weapon focus lightsaber, prestige sense, and light side enlightenment. Cool. But yeah, now I've got more force powers, I'm more effective with it, and since I'm light side, like mastery +3 to wisdom, look at that wisdom score, 33 plus 11 to my rolls. That's why, like, every time I'm doing my, like, wave, everyone's getting stunned. It's because my bonus has just skyrocketed so high. It's become just insane.
You have befriended the seer.
Yes, I have. The Miraluka. Why do you call her a seer?
Her species does not see as we do. They perceive the galaxy through the Force, and it is how she found you. It is a rare gift squandered on her people. The Sith carry the battle to you, and you spare them. And as we travel, the empty places of this ship are filled. I hope your thoughts in this matter are clear. If you take her on as a servant, know that the Sith meet their end at the hands of their apprentices. It is not something I would wish to happen to you. This one you have saved has other masters. Though blind, she has ties to darkness.
There.
Her presence here is a threat to us, to you. Do not underestimate her or her loyalty.
Ties to her master, perhaps. And I intend to follow that bond to its source when the opportunity presents itself.
Then you are learning.
Anne said her planet was wiped out. That is the only colony for people in this sector of the galaxy.
Did he? And what do you make of that?
Well, if her people all see through the Force, then maybe somebody wanted to blind them.
The Mandalorians were right to respect you on the field of battle. The Jedi are gone. Vanished. Now, an entire planet of Force sensitives wiped clean of life. And now this slice of the galaxy is blind. It is no coincidence. The two events are tied.
Someone wants this sector of the galaxy blind to the Force, so they can move freely, or strike without warning.
I fear you are right. And I fear it may prove more than that. War is a hunger. And there are spirits in the galaxy whose hunger is never satisfied. But there is little to be done about it now. Watch the seer carefully. She may reveal more.
Alright.
Ask.
I can't think of, Visas Master. When Visas attacked, she did something to my eyesight.
She did nothing to your eyes that was not already there. She has forced this upon you, but such crude methods are the markings of the Sith. Close your eyes.
Alright.
Feel this ship around you. The welding of the droid as it goes about its work.
Mm-hmm. Hey, T3 has a stuck motivator.
Now, stretch out. Hear the rumble of hyperspace, the hum of the hyperdrive.
Hey, I can hear a catch in it. It's not fully fixed.
Ignore distractions and focus on my voice. The breathing of the blinded one as she meditates in the dark. Now, listen deeper, past her breathing, and listen.
As my feet walk from the ashes of KOTOR, I shall not fear, for in fear lies death, and...
I hear her thoughts.
You are strong indeed. What you heard were surface thoughts only, but it is something that masters have trained for years and never learned.
But how did I do that? Actually, no, was I always able to do that?
That is not the real question you should ask. Is such listening enough to perceive the world around you? It is not. Because to listen to the thoughts of another is much like attempting to see the universe only with your eyes. It is equally limiting. Now leave me be. I must rest.
Gain +1 awareness and recovered some of your connection to the Force. Yeah. And so the processor. Low hum from within the droid, sound of the circuit sparking, restoring life power throughout the droid systems. Here we go.
Agnostic. HK-47 activated. Running checks through primary systems. Assessment. It appears I have suffered considerable damage and dismemberment. I can feel all the cracks in my motivators. And my central control cluster seems to have taken several repeated blaster shots at close range. How crude.
Any idea what happened to you? Actually, are you okay?
Answer. If by okay, you mean the loss of almost all my existing assassination protocols, then no, I am not okay. Furthermore, I seem to have no discretionary control over my vocabulator, causing me to reveal my true function as an assassin droid of unrivaled sophistication.
You're an assassin droid.
Recitation. Yes, as I said, I am an assassin droid. It is my primary function to burn holes through meat bags that you wish removed from the galaxy, Master. Oh, how I hate that term.
But meatbag?
Answer. No, Master. I said it again.
He's so... Okay, he's great in the first game. He's perfection in the second. Well, get used to it.
Answer. Yes, Master.
You're not killing anyone unless it's in self-defense. Even then, I don't want you acting without my orders.
Answer. Yes, Master. HK-47 is ready to serve.
HK is drawing your party. Yes. We'll talk to him more in the future. So, there we go. That is where we're going to stop. All right, thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to get out of this. Like, you don't know, it's been 4.5 hours of recording. There were some hiccups along the way. There's stuff that took longer than I expected. I had some interruptions. It's been kind of a nightmare, and I just did so much stuff. So we now have 2 new Jedi, so we have 3 new Jedi characters on the ship. Visas, who's an ex-Sith. We have Disciple, who I just trained to be a Jedi Knight, and Bao-Dur, who I just trained to be a Jedi Knight. And you can maybe see part of the theme of this game. I'm going to showcase exactly how you can turn everybody on the ship who isn't a droid into a Jedi if you do it right. And so far, I've done all the hard ones. So the next, well, I guess technically the next hard one might be Aten. Normally, Aten isn't too difficult as long as you take him with you on Nar Shaddaa, but because I recruited Disciple, I lost a influence with Aten. So I don't know if that's going to mess with that at some point in the future, but I'm gonna try and believe that I will be able to get it. So now if I can get Aten, then we're solid. Then there's really no other challenges to this whole process. And that kind of reveals what my next plan is. We're going to Nar Shaddaa next. A lot of interesting stuff to happen there, a lot of powerful enemies to face, but more importantly, we've got some more recruiting to do. So Hope you're looking forward to that. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll have more conversations with HK and Visas and all these other great people in the future, but we'll have to share that for next week. Thank you so much. Hopefully this video wasn't too long, because even edited, I'm guessing it's freakishly long. I bet I cut a lot of stuff that normally would have been kept in there, just because otherwise it's going to be just a bear of content. So if you're playing the game or following along for whatever reason and you didn't see certain things or certain choices that I made, it likely is just because it wasn't really impactful, or there wasn't really anything different about the choice I could have made, besides like just generally being light side. But all in all, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your patience. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you're ready for more videos to come out this week. And thank you so much for all of the wonderful supporters of the channel, the channel members and the patrons. I am very grateful for each and every one of you, and hopefully I can continue to be worthy of your support. So thank you so much, and until the next video watching me, see me next. I'll see you there.